Hey everyone, how's it going today? I've got my awesome background today to talk to you about how to reprogram your subconscious mind. And to me, there's no more bigger topic than this these days. There's nothing more important than this topic today. Because with everything going on in the world, how much stress, how much uncertainty, how much fear there is in the world today, if we don't have a handle on our subconscious mind and our thoughts, it's going to be so much harder, you guys, than it needs to be. So, this is a really huge topic that I'm really, first of all, really passionate about myself. I do a ton of learning about this. I have some amazing mentors that have been helping me with this. And second, it's something I'm just so excited to share with all of you that I really think could help so many people. So, hi to everyone who's jumping in live. Lulu Lightworker, Maxtesia Developments, Tony, hey Tony, and hi to everyone who's seeing this live. Thanks so much for tuning in. So, yeah, let's talk about the subconscious mind, right? Like the subconscious mind, it's your thoughts that are playing pretty much on autopilot all the time to the point where we're not even usually aware that they're there. And they're the construct through which we've created our reality, our lens that we see reality. And many of these thoughts were first experienced and created when we were children. And we just created those assumptions about the world and about reality into adulthood, regardless of how true or false they are. And so, a lot of interesting work that I've been doing, that I now do with my clients, is unwinding those thoughts of what we assume to always be true. And it's been so interesting for myself to do these thought detoxes and to unwind what I had assumed to be like concrete true about the world. But meanwhile, it was just a thought. And a thought is just condensation of energy that's passing through us. And what's so fascinating about thoughts in the subconscious mind is just behind them. Like if we can quiet them down and find that space behind them, that is where we access our portal to our own divinity. It doesn't matter what you believe in, if it's the universe, God, source, the creator, goddess, whatever. Put whatever word feels right for you, but you access that space, that oneness just behind your busy thinking thoughts. And it's your busy thinking thoughts that are distracting you from your ability to connect. That's always there 24/7, all the time, no matter what. So let's talk about 3 things that you can start doing today right away to reprogram your subconscious mind. And I think if we have time to at the end here, I'll jump into a meditation exercise with you as well too. So be sure to stay till the end. So the first thing is opening your awareness to the idea that you are not your thoughts. Now, some of you, this might be old news. Some of you, this might be something you haven't thought about before. So if you haven't thought about this before, I want you to really take a moment and think about this. Like, who is observing your thoughts? Eckhart Tolle calls it the silent observer, which I love. The silent witness. Who is observing your thoughts? Because you're watching this because you're likely on a spiritual path, right? So you have some knowledge that you're a spiritual body or a spiritual being living in a human body. And as such, you're a spiritual being who's experiencing having a human brain. That's having thoughts. So you are not your thoughts. You are experiencing your thoughts. All right. Number 2, your thoughts are subjective. So just because it's something that you think doesn't mean that it's concrete or real or true. Thoughts are subjective. And I was thinking about this today as I went out for a run to help clear my mind. And I was thinking about exercise. And one of my clients said it really well. She said she was wanting to reprogram her mind to go from exercise being labeled as punishment to exercise being labeled as play. And this is my client, Steph Struthers. I'm going to link to her below in the comments after this. She's doing big things in the world. I'd love for you to all check her out. And I just thought that was a very wise interpretation, right? Like, how do you label exercise? Do you think exercise is easy? Do you think it's hard? Do you think it's punishment? Or does it remind you of being a kid? Like, I love riding my bike. It's really good exercise, and it reminds me of being a kid. of being like 6 years old. It just feels so good. What about food? Do you think food is easy? Do you think food is hard? I think food's kind of hard, to be honest. So, because I just find it complicated trying to get the right nutrition. It's a story for another day. But, anyways, thoughts are subjective. Thoughts are subjective, right? So, even though we've labeled something using a certain thought, that doesn't make it true. That just makes it our interpretation of that experience at that time. So, as we start to unwind our thoughts, we can start to realize what we've labeled as good, bad, right, wrong, all these different things in the world of duality, which are simply subjective and can be changed at any time once we first become aware of them. Okay, and so the third piece that I want to share with you today is just because you have a thought come into your mind, you don't need to give it attention. So many, like we receive the full spectrum of thought, right? We receive the really happy, positive, fluffy, yay, rainbow thoughts, and we receive the dark, angry, depressive, like, dark thoughts. We get the whole spectrum that enter our system, and we get to choose what we give attention to. And some people get really hung up on their dark thoughts. I'm sure we've all had moments when we've all done this, but some more than others. You know, you get really hung up on the idea that you have got these dark thoughts. Like, why would I think that? Why would I be so judgmental? And then we get hard on ourselves, and then we actually go further and further down the thought hole, having thoughts about thoughts. And it just goes further and further away from that place of divinity because you follow the trail of thought. And so every thought that comes into your mind, you don't have to give it attention. And especially if it doesn't feel good. So if you have a thought that jumps into your head and you're like, ugh, why am I thinking that? That doesn't feel nice in my body. You don't have to think it. It sounds so simple, right? But it's actually, I know it's harder than it sounds, but really that's what it is at the end of the day. You can simply choose another thought. So those are three like huge, I mean, those have had a huge impact on my life, action steps that I wanted to share with you. And there's so much more to this wonderful work of untangling your thoughts so you can access your divinity. And I'm just so excited to share with all of you and just branch out into this wonderful new work. By the way, it's based on Sydney Banks, The Three Principles he's a Scottish philosopher. And yeah, lots of work done around this. And I'm loving it because we are all our divine nature, right? That is our true self. That is our highest self. That's who we are without this body, and that's who we came into this lifetime to be. But it's just our busy thinking thoughts that are distracting us from being that part of ourselves at all times in all aspects of our life. So, awesome. So I'd love to hear how this is landing on you. Drop it out in the comments below and let me know. And let's also jump into a quick meditation together as well to really access those that calm, peace, tranquil serenity, that nice place of divinity. Nice seems like a diminished, discounted word for it, but let's quiet those thoughts together and raise your frequency for the rest of the day. Yeah, it is super interesting. So if you're in a place where you can drop into a quick meditation, I invite you to just close your eyes here, take a 5-minute break from the day, or you can listen along if you're still working or doing something else. So let's start by taking 3 nice deep breaths together. So ready, deep breath into the belly. Hold the breath in. Nice long breath out. Hold the breath out. Deep breath into the belly. Hold the breath in. Nice long breath out. Hold the breath out. Ready, last one. Biggest breath of the day into your belly. Hold the breath in. And nice long breath out. Hold the breath out. And allow your breathing to return to normal while still taking those nice deep belly breaths on your own. And from here, let's set a grounding. So at the base of your spine, about where your tailbone is, visualize a nice big tree root coming down towards the ground. See it going all the way to the ground and into the earth. And from there it goes deep, deep into the earth, as deep as you are tall above the ground. And then branch out to either side, as wide as your arm's length on either side. Seeing those tree roots extend till they get smaller and smaller, and then the edges curl into each other in the soil. Take a couple deep breaths here to integrate your grounding. And from here, I want you to turn your focus to your mind, your human brain. Maybe noticing any thoughts you're having right now without judgment, just noticing. And I want you to visualize a big sifter. So if you're a baker, you've seen those big sifters for flour. It's like a big wire net with really small holes. And we're going to see your thoughts start to slowly pass down through this sifter, gently filtering down, starting to settle. And as they do, you start to notice a nice, calm, and serene space inside of your mind. And any other thoughts that start to pop up in its place, just gently allowing them to fall down through this sifter, this net. Settling down, reaching behind you, behind the thoughts, where your true self lies. The expansive awareness of who you really are before your thoughts. Take a couple nice deep breaths here. Settling into that nice calm space. And when you're ready, you can start to move your fingers and toes and open your eyes if you had them closed. Hopefully you got a taste of that wonderful space behind your thoughts. Because the goal then is to access that space as often as possible outside of your meditation practice, in every aspect of your life. And if you're not in that space, to simply notice that you're not there, and that's okay. You can go back. So this is something I am loving helping others with. If you want to know more about this and how I work with others one-on-one, please send me a message, DM. Oh, Tesla Developments almost fell asleep. Well, that means you're relaxed, right? That's good. That sounds like you reached that calm space. Hey, Dawn, that's great. Yeah, so send me a message. I'd love to hear from you, or just leave a comment below. Let me know if you fell asleep or if you feel any more calm. And yeah, thanks as always for dropping in with me. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.